My name is Lucas Campbell. Together with my friend Mia Miller, we discovered the truth. Monsters are real. Now, we're going on the search for them.
So, I've been thinking about what we're doing.
Driving?
No, dummy. This whole adventure. I just want to make sure we're still on the same page.
Yeah, we are. Finding cryptids, right?
Protecting cryptids. Conservation. Documenting them is great and all, but if a unique creature goes extinct and we're the only two that knew about it, what have we even accomplished?
We could get a pretty good book out of it.
Lucas, I'm being serious.
I know. Listen, I'm all for conservation, but we have to be realistic too.
What does that mean?
What that means is that we can be smart about things, but we're not perfect. I want to buy a real gun eventually. I know you want to protect cryptids, but we have to protect people too. If it does ever come down to you or a monster, I'm picking you.
Me?
Anyone. You know what I mean. I'm just saying, I'm not going to put the life of an animal over the life of a human.
I don't agree with you, but I can't exactly argue with that either. I don't know.
Hey, we're beginners. Can't expect us to have all the answers right away.
I guess. So, what do we do then?
The best we can. Ever since our encounter with the Beast of Bray Road, Mia and I have been a bit at odds over what to do if we ever encounter another dangerous cryptid. We've had some variation of this conversation multiple times now. Being cooped up in the car on the way to Utah didn't help things either.
I'm thinking about Bear Lake next.
Oh? So you want to take the reins this time?
Have you seen all the sightings coming out of there?
I have, but I wasn't thinking we'd go there so soon. Utah is a long ways away.
True, but it seems like a solid bet. The monster's been in the news for the past few months now. We should go while the going's good.
I didn't want to spend 3 days straight in the car, but I suppose that's fine. So, the Bear Lake Monster.
Yes, what do you know about it?
Not much besides its name. I'll hit the books.
You mean the internet?
I will hit the books on the internet. Which brings us back to the car ride. The long car ride.
Fine, we'll put aside this discussion for another day. In that case, are you ready to tell me about the monster?
You betcha. So, okay, Bear Lake sits on the Idaho-Utah border. The earliest reports of the monster come from the 19th century. Joseph Rich, who was one of the Mormon settlers of the area, first wrote an article about it in the Deseret News in 1868. That summer, there were a wave of sightings, just a ton of them. A lot of the descriptions compared it to a serpent, but there were also sprinklings of cow, otter, alligator, walrus. They said it was big, too. Estimates ranged anywhere from 50 to 90 feet long.
Shit, that's one big snake. Walrus cow thing.
Yeah, apparently. There were a lot more sightings over the next few years, and at one point even Brigham Young went to investigate the claims. Let's see, there's one report here from 1870 about a guy who saw it with 3 of his sons. The newspaper says, he described his head as serpent-shaped. He saw about 20 feet of its body, which was covered with hair or fur, something like an otter, and light brown. It had 2 flippers extending from the upper part of the body, which he compared to the blades of oars. He was so near it that if he had had a rifle, he could have shot it.
Fur?
Yeah, and flippers. Another plesiosaur, maybe?
Maybe. It's possible. What else is there?
Let's see. They tried to catch it at one point with a baited hook on this giant rope. It was unsuccessful.
I'm shocked.
Oh, this one's good. So, in 1907, these 2 guys were camping on the edge of the lake. It was sundown, they had just tied up their horses, and they went to go make dinner. While they were eating, one of them noticed something out on the lake. They said it kept surfacing and diving back under the water. They shot their rifles at it, to no apparent effect, and the creature started heading in their direction.
Real smart.
Right? So they back off a little bit, head out into the trees, and keep firing. And it still didn't do anything. Their horses started panicking, and I guess one of them got loose. It must have run towards the water because apparently this monster swipes at it and knocks it to the ground.
Oh my god.
It turns to swim away, but these idiots start shooting at it again, and of course it turns back around. This time it comes out of the water, grabs the horse because apparently it has claws, and, I'm quoting here, opened his monstrous mouth and crashed its teeth into it like a bull terrier would a mouse.
Jesus.
Yeah. It doesn't say whether the horse survived or not. I can't imagine it did. But apparently this monster went back into the water and disappeared after that. Though I will say the paper that reported the story took it as a bunch of drunken nonsense. The article actually ends with this lovely quote. The Republican would like to know who these men are and the brand they use. So, who's to say how trustworthy that story is? Oh, speaking of trustworthy.
What?
So Joseph Rich, the guy that first reported about the monster, he was apparently known for his tall tales. 25 or so years after the first sighting, he claimed it had all been a wonderful first-class lie.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, on the one hand, that is pretty damning. But there were so many other sightings at the time.
I can see coming clean if he did lie about it, but why wait 25 years? On the other hand, if he really had seen something, why pretend that you made it up?
I don't know. It's not like it was a deathbed confession either. I'm pretty sure he lived a good while longer after that. Anyway, there have been other smaller sightings on and off throughout the 20th century. In Garden City, it's actually become a bit of a tourist attraction. Get this, they have a parade every year, and they stick a bunch of local kids on this one float, and they call it the real Bear Lake Monsters.
That's wonderful.
And they had a contest to name the monster, too. In 1996, the winning name was Isabella.
Isabella, huh? Pretty name.
Yeah. She was last sighted in 2002, again in Garden City, before the most recent wave of sightings from the past few months.
So a sizable base of sightings.
Definitely. Also, are you familiar with endemism, endemic species?
Yeah, when a certain animal is only found in one area?
Yes. Well, apparently, Bear Lake has a pretty high rate of endemic species. Mostly fish, but if there's something unique about the lake...
It's certainly not the worst place to look for a cryptid.
Exactly. We finally reached Garden City, Utah, a small resort town on the edge of Bear Lake. The lake itself is around 18 miles at its longest, so nowhere near the size of the Great Lakes, or even Lake Champlain, but still a pretty large area to cover. Although most of the recent sightings have been unconfirmed, they do seem to be centered around Garden City. Fortunately, we managed to get in touch with one of the witnesses.
Hello?
Hi, I was hoping to speak with Kristen Haig.
This is her.
Hi, my name's Lucas Campbell. My friend and I have been documenting unusual animal sightings around the country, and we were hoping to talk with you about...
Listen, sorry, but let me stop you. I know I said I saw something in the lake, but I was wrong.
Oh, so you didn't see anything?
Well, I saw something, but it wasn't a monster. It must have been a log or a trick of the light or something. My imagination got carried away with me, that's all.
I'm sorry to hear that. Would you mind just telling me about what you did see, or what you thought you saw?
Listen, I don't know what I saw. Like I told those other guys, my memory of that day is all fuzzy. Sorry. I wish I could be of more help. Bye.
Well, that was real helpful. Fog?
Must be. And you couldn't get in contact with any other witnesses?
No. Looks like we're going in blind.
Well, we can head down to the water in the morning. Maybe stock up on crabs?
There's also an exhibit we could visit. Probably a little touristy, but worth a look.
Sounds like a plan. You were right. This sure is touristy.
Yeah, sorry. But hey, look. They've got some quotes from the original news article.
Oh, yeah? July 31st, 1868. The Indians have a tradition concerning a strange, serpent-like creature inhabiting the waters of Bear Lake, which they say carried off some of their braves many moons ago. Since then, they will not sleep close to the lake. Neither will they swim in it, nor let their squaws and papooses bathe in it. Oh my god, this was racist!
It was a different time.
Now, it seems this water devil, as the Indians called it, has again made an appearance. A number of our white settlers declare they have seen it with their own eyes. This Bear Lake monster, they now call it, is causing a great deal of excitement up here. S.M. Johnson at South Eden was riding along near the lake the other day when he saw something a number of yards out in the lake, which he thought was the body of a man. He waited for the waves to wash it in, but to his surprise found the water washed over it without causing it to move. Then he saw it had a head and neck like some strange animal. On either side of the head were ears or bunches the size of a pint cup. He concluded the body must be touching the bottom of the lake. By this time, however, Johnson seems to have been leaving the place so rapidly he failed to observe other details. The next day, 3 women and a man saw a monstrous animal in the lake near the same place, but this time it was swimming at an incredible speed. According to their statement, it was moving faster than a horse could run. Was it fish, flesh, or serpent? Amphibious, or just a big fib? Or what is it? I give up, but live in hopes of someday seeing it. He certainly had a way with words.
Yeah. I guess it wouldn't be too surprising if this one was a hoax after all. After checking out the Bear Lake Monster exhibit, we headed to the lake itself. Here we are, Bear Lake.
Oh my god.
You like it? Thought I'd leave it a surprise.
Lucas, it's beautiful.
I know, right? I guess it has something to do with the limestone in the earth, gives it that color. Not a bad place to spend a few days.
Not at all.
Bear Lake was a brilliant deep turquoise color. They even called it the Caribbean of the Rockies. Believe me, words don't do it justice. It was amazing. Even if we didn't find anything in this lake, the trip would still be worthwhile. After a little exploring, we found a semi-secluded spot on the beach and settled there for the day. You know, I don't think we're gonna find anything here.
Oh no? Since when are you the Debbie Downer all of a sudden?
Well, this is our second lake monster. Third if you count Mishapeshu. We knew where to go last time with Champ, pretty specifically. Now, we're just sitting on a random spot on the beach, hoping to find something. It's been 6 hours, and there hasn't been so much as a mysterious ripple. I think we need to go out there.
Out there? On the water?
Yeah! Really canvass the area, so to speak.
I think you've got a point there. I saw a sign for boat rentals on the way in. We can look into that for tomorrow.
Great. In that case, let's call it a day here. I am ready for dinner.
You and me both.
The next morning, we headed back to the lake. Since neither of us had enough boating experience to pilot a boat ourselves, we were going to charter one and have it take us out around the lake for the next few days. I don't think I like boats.
First time on the water?
Yeah.
You'll get used to it.
Oh, I hope so.
At least if you have to puke, you can just lean over and puke in the water.
Hooray for me.
Hey, at least you won't be in a crowded auditorium.
Oh my god, I forgot about that.
And Professor Weller? Young man, you are clearly sick. Why did you even come to school today? Oh man, that was the best.
Sure was. You know, we've never really talked about it, but how have things been since you graduated?
Oh, alright.
Work must have at least been fun, right?
Dude, environmental jobs are hard to come by. I was working at a hotel. Why do you think I was fine dropping everything and hitting the road for God knows how long?
I was curious about that. Did you tell your parents about it?
My mom didn't even want me seeing Grandpa before he disappeared. so I wasn't going to tell her I was going on a road trip to continue his life's work. It's not like she can understand anyway. I just told them I needed a break, a change of scenery.
Doesn't exactly sound like a lie.
Yeah, I guess so. What about you? You still live at home, right? Your parents are fine with you just taking off?
I could have dropped out of school for all they care.
Sorry.
I'm used to it. The next few days went by pretty uneventfully. We spent every day on the boat and came back to the docks every evening. After 3 days without even a hint of monster activity, we decided to spend one last day out on the water before declaring Bear Lake a bust. So we headed back out on the lake for the final time. At this point in the day, we had been traveling through one of the deeper parts of the lake.
Hey, could you stop the boat?
What is it?
I don't know. This area just seems... right.
Another gut feeling?
Yeah.
Well, see anything?
Not yet.
Oh! Look! There's a huge shadow underwater.
Fucking fuck!
The size of it.
And it's so... graceful.
Oh my god, it's coming up.
Look at that. Hey there, Isabella.
And there it goes.
So is it worth 3 days of being seasick?
Oh, hell yeah.
Field notes. Entry number 5, the Bear Lake Monster. Not a particularly descriptive name, but not many cryptid names are. Admittedly, we didn't get too great a look at the creature, but I'll try my best. The creature seemed to be between 40 and 50 feet long. We couldn't see the whole length of its tail, so it's hard to say. It had a large, triangular head and a fairly long body. It appeared to be covered in scales and had a few rows of spines going down its back. I was expecting flippers, but it did seem to have webbed feet with claws. After doing some additional research and debating with Lucas, we think it was either a descendant of the mosasaurs or an unknown species of crocodile. Despite the creature's size and appearance, I don't think it's a real threat, given the amount of tourists that visit the area and the lack of reported attacks. I think that's all I can really say about it for now. Man, I still can't believe my grandfather spent his whole life doing stuff like this. What I'd give to hear some of his stories. Sorry. End field notes.
The Cryptid Cases has been a production of Little Giant Monsters.
If you enjoyed the show, please consider leaving a review on iTunes.
If you'd like to follow us on social media, search for Little Giant Monsters on Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram.
Or visit littlegiantmonsters.com.
Visit our website or Facebook to see Mia's sketches the Monday after each new episode. If you have questions or comments, email littlegiantmonsters@gmail.com. Thanks for listening, and see you again soon.